Hello friends, this is A P Bhardwaj from Innovation Chandigarh. Today we will be discussing about the art of essay writing for civil and judicial service examination. As all the civil and judicial service aspirants know that essay paper is a very crucial paper. It is very scoring as well as very damaging for many aspirants. The reason being lack of proper knowledge about the essay writing. When we will discuss about the art of essay writing, I will be telling you that what is a good essay and what is expected through a good essay writing from the aspirants. What are the requirements of a good essay writing? And what are the do's and don'ts which you must bear in your mind, which you should always bear in your mind when attempting a good essay in your examinations. First of all, let me tell you about the meaning and purpose of essay. The very meaning of essay is to make attempt, to make an honest and sincere attempt. If you will consult a dictionary and see the meaning of the essay as a verb, you will find out that the very word essay means to attempt. To attempt means to make an honest and sincere effort to write a particular essay. Now, what is the purpose of essay writing? The purpose of the essay writing is to determine your level of understanding, which is called comprehension, your thinking pattern, your thought process, your personality development. And of course, language is the medium of expression, carrier of ideas, and source of communication, and should be, of course, very good, impressive, and convincing. But there is a widely prevalent myth about the essay writing. Most of the students think that essay writing is a test of your English language. Actually, it is not so. Had it been so, then they would have, introduced one more English language paper, or they would have broadened and widened the English language paper. Whereas compulsory English language paper in the civil services is only of the qualifying nature. But as far as essay is concerned, it is one of the most important determining factor in the merit list. Same is with the judicial service examination. Essay writing plays the most important role in the subordinate and superior judicial service examinations. But the majority of the students are confused. The myth of essay being the test of English language is deeply embedded in their mind. There is another myth that the essay writing is only the test of your bombastic and fantastic vocabulary. Again, had it been so, they would have introduced another paper on the test of your vocabulary, test of your word power. I don't mean to say that you just ignore the English language, you ignore the vocabulary building, but my main purpose here to highlight these two myths is to make you free from these two myths and to get you free from these two most prevalent misconceptions about the essay writing. Essay writing is basically the test of your personality. As majority of you know that I am into this profession for the last more than 2 decades, enabling, tailoring, tutoring and training the students for civil and judicial examination in essay writing paper. And recently I have come out with a book, Essays for Civil and Judicial Services, published by GKP Publications in 2019, and which is luckily the bestseller in the market as well as on the online portals like Amazon and Flipkart. I have provided there in a write-up the art of essay writing, and my topic art of essay writing starts with a quote by Arthur Benson, one of the greatest essayists of our times, who says that an essay is a thing which one does himself, and the point of the essay is not the subject but the charm of the personality. Not the subject but the charm of the personality. So through the topic of the essay chosen by you, you express your personality in black and white. Got it? I mean to say that essay writing is intrinsically and primarily the actualization of one's true self in one's own words through a particular subject. The art of essay writing demands great skill to buttress your thoughts and reinforce your ideas. You should be able to express your ideas, your views on a particular topic in a very clear, cogent and convincing manner. It will be possible only if you would have a structured and layered thought process on a particular topic, and you would have sound grounding in the conceptual clarity of the English language and a good words. Good words means good vocabulary to express those ideas. So the essay writing is basically the expression of your thought process to a particular topic in a coherent manner, in a cogent manner, in a convincing manner. There should be coherence and cogency between your ideas and your words. But if you think that only the words can fetch you the marks, you are extremely mistaken. Of course, essay writing demands play of words, but genuine play of words, of genuine words, in a proper context and manner, highlighting a particular perspective and a topic in a well-directed direction. Not the overplay of words in a haywire manner just to bamboozle the examiner. No, not at all. It is not true. It is a myth. It's a misconception. Remove it from your mind. Eliminate it from your mind. And bear it in your mind that essay writing is basically the test of your personality traits, thinking pattern, layered and structured thought process, and the assimilation of your ideas. How much ideas you have assimilated over the years, how much words you have accumulated over the year. Words, good, relevant, contextual words, but not just the overplay of words which are landing you in no man's land and which are just trying to bamboozle the examiner, giving him no direction, giving him no impression. Good, impressive words, we should give a good impression to the mind. We should clearly go into the head and heart of the reader so that he or she could make out that this particular aspirant who is attempting a particular essay knows the pulse of that subject, pulse of that topic, and he is very clear about that very topic. Now, how you will be able to develop the ideas and how you will be able to develop a good vocabulary? There is only one way, that is reading. Without reading, you can never be able to write a good essay. Again, I am here going to quote one of the greatest essayists of our times, Stephen King. He says, if you don't have the time to read, then you don't have the tools to write. Simple as that. If you don't have the time to read, you don't have the tools to write. Simple as that. And I am fully in agreement with this essayist, fully in coherence with this essayist, and I can assure you that without being a good reader, you can never be a good writer. So reading, reading and reading is the only salvation for good writing. This is what I have provided here in my piece of writing, Art of Essay Writing. Now, one of the greatest essays. So, it is of imperative necessity to develop the habit of regular reading from diverse sources, which will boost your learning, broaden your thinking, and this will automatically start manifesting in your writing. And consequently, your writing will start giving a powerful, stunning and forceful impression, and which is must to fetch good marks and to have an edge over the others. Clear? Now, what type of readings you are supposed to make? Now, first of all, let me tell you, now in the civil services, for the last 2, 3, 4 years, they have started asking 2 topics. You are supposed to attempt 2 essays, write essays on 2 topics. One is usually from the social, economic, political or cultural issue, national or international issue, and second is from the most prominently nowadays from the topics of personality development, self-improvement, motivation, encouragement. Now, as far as the first topic is concerned, same as with the judicial services. They put up the 7, 8 topics mixed up from all the topics, one from social, cultural, political, national, international issues, and 2, 3, 4 from the motivational topics. So in order to attempt both the essays, you must read basic books, and you also try to subscribe to one good newspaper. As well as the students of North India, they should prefer the newspaper, the Tribune, as the editorial page is very impressive, very knowledgeable, and very logically reasonable and prudent. As far as the editorial page of the Indian Express, that is also very well meant, well written, and worthy to convey everything that you require to form your ideas on different topics and different issues. If you subscribe to any of these 2 newspapers, you will find that there are 2, 3 topics on the editorial page in 1 week. You read those, find the parent words, underline those parent sentences, try to write up 2, 3 pages daily. Whenever you find a good editorial, 2-3 times in a week. Suppose you find a topic on uniform civil code, you find a topic on women empowerment, you find a topic on unemployment, terrorism, democracy, federalism, cooperative federalism, and so on and so forth. You keep on reading those editorials, keep on jotting down the important words, sentences, and try to learn those ideas by various great thinkers, writers, academicians, philosophers, bureaucrats, and try to analyze those ideas, critically analyze those ideas, and try to imbibe the most balanced things, and try to inculcate those in your own personality, and try to make them part and parcel of your personality. If you will read 2-3 editorials in a week, and you continue this practice for 1 year, you will notice that there will be ample number of words at your disposal. You will be quite enriched on the front of the ideas about the essay writing. And simultaneously, you should also regularly read some good books. Like, if you want to write any essay on any political issue, then you are supposed to understand all the political processes, the political setup, the political structure, the constitutional setup. So it will be possible only if you will read some good book by some good authoritative writer or the author. For example, you read India After Gandhi by Ramchandra Guha. It is one of the landmark books, spreading into 700-800 pages. You try to cut short into 50, 60, 70 pages. If you are able to find out 50, 60 pages out of that book, and about 500, 600 new words, it will add a great strength to your personality, to your language, to your vocabulary. If you are interested to solve any essay on any social issue, be it women, be it alcoholism, drug, corruption, unemployment, you go through the book Social Problems in India by Ram Ahuja. Based on detailed empirical studies, with profuse quotes and about what, when, how, about every problem. You will learn how to sum up the reasons of everything, genesis of everything, causes of everything, effects of everything, challenges of every problem, and solutions to every problem. Again, go through it, sum it up in your own words, with the ideas taken from the book into your own words, embellishing and ornamenting it with the good words. Now, coming to the motivational topic or the self-improvement or personality development, one book, light from many lamps, one book will be more than sufficient. It will not only enable you to write a good essay on the topics of personality development, self-improvement, or self-motivation. It will otherwise also transform you, transmute you, sublimate your personality you will find yourself as a reborn person. Go through it as many times as you can. Light from many lamps. I have quoted it here in my book. The good books, Light from Many Lamps by Ashler Watson. If you go through the Guiding Light book by A P Abdul Kalam, you would find that this is one of the most important book, topping his list of important books provided there in his book, The Guiding Light. He says that his personality is basically the outcome of this book. He said he has been reading this book for the last 50 years. Even I have been reading this book for the last 30 years. And every time I read it, I learn something new. Once you are finished with this book, you will find that you are reborn as a new person. That you will be able to write an essay on any topic of self-improvement, personality development, or motivation with utmost ease and comfortability, and with a bigger and greater edge over the others, and fetching handsome marks in your essay writing. Coming to the requirements of good essay writing, I have broadly categorized and summed up as a good command over the language with the rich repository of vocabulary and armory of thoughts. Rich repository of vocabulary and armory of thoughts. One without the other is incomplete. Armory of thoughts and repository of vocabulary, they are complementary to supplementary to each other. There should be clear-cut coherence and cogency between these two, and these two would enable you to write an essay in a clear, cogent, comprehensive, convincing, and impressive manner. Number two, conceptual clarity of grammar and is a prerequisite. Of course, clarity of fundamentals of grammar is a prerequisite for any essay writing. And it is not a rocket science. You are not supposed to go through Renan Martin or Samuel Butler or any other grammar. Simply go through any good grammar, 9-10 standard grammar, any state school education board grammar or CBSE grammar or ICSE grammar, or if you don't have, go through my book Compulsory English for Civil and Judicial Services, which is again luckily the #1 bestseller for the last more than 1 decade, running into the 11th reprint in the last 5 years. That will brush up all your concepts, all your fundamentals. Then, are to be avoided at all cost. Yes, grammatical and spelling mistakes are not spared at all. If any spelling or grammatical mistake is found, it is really, very damaging. The wrong use of punctuation marks can play havoc with your essay writing. Use of adjective to embellish your thoughts is desirable, but overuse of adjectives should not give the impression of a bundle of adjectives, that your essay is just a bundle of adjective. It is no more than a claptrap of adjective, and it is a clumsy attempt to bamboozle the examiner or the reader. It should not be so. Coherence and cogency are always the biggest strengths. Candor and forthrightness, yes. Frankness and candidness are always paying, but it should not give the impression of bumptiousness. You should be free, you should be frank, you should be candid in your approach, but bumptiousness should be avoided. Now, coming to the do's and don'ts, what are the do's which you should always bear while writing a good essay, and what are the don'ts which you should always discard at any cost, which should always be kept at bay, because they can be very damaging and very harmful for your essay writing. First of all, what are the do's you should bear in your mind? First, one must be very careful about the choice of topic for essay writing, because the very choice of the topic of the essay writing decides half of the battle. If you are able to choose a topic of your own choice in which you are very strong, you have strong ideas, and you have very good words to express those ideas, half of battle is won. Only the half of battle is left, which you will win after writing a good essay. Topic must be of your choice, close to your heart, and at least approximate your choice and your heart. Before putting the essay into writing, you should form an anatomical framework in your mind. Give first 30 minutes only to think about the topic. 30 minutes only about to think about the essay topic, that what I'm going to write. Now, if you are going to write an essay on the democracy, try to recollect the sayings and writings of various great democrats and democratic thinkers and political thinkers: Nehru, Patel, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, Winston Churchill, Roosevelt. Try to recollect. Then there should be an anatomical framework, that this will be my introduction, then this will be my body of the essay, and this will be the conclusion. And this is how I will proceed further. Okay? Now, before proceeding further, always try to start the essay with a quote. A befitting quote. Absolutely and perfectly in perfect coherence with the topic of the essay writing. Make sure that you have to start the essay with a befitting quote. And the opening should be very comprehensive. For example, if you are writing about the essay on journey of Indian democracy, try to start the journey of Indian democracy with Nehru's historic speech, Tryst with Destiny, delivered at the time of independence on the midnight of 14th and 15th August, highlighting the problems of partitions, challenges staring at the nation, at the leaders, their optimism, incorrigible optimism, their vision, their attitude, and the problems of institutions building, institutionalization of ideas of secularism, democracy, liberty, equality, fraternity, rule of law, and the start of journey with a great hope, vision, strength, and unflagging spirit. Now, start writing essay step by step, how we overcame the problems, how the other problems came our way, how we again started overcoming those problems, and gradually where we reached today, what are the present day's problems staring at the nation and the leaders, and what is their vision, and what are your suggestions, what are the reforms suggested by you, and how to tackle the present problems. So this is the anatomical framework of the essay in your mind before putting the essay into black and white. Okay? Starting the essay with a befitting quote and a convincing and comprehensive introduction, and start filling the gaps and linking the ideas with your words, with your sentences, with the quotes, with sayings, and with examples and illustrations. But keep in your mind that sentences should always be very crispy and clear. Clear, crispy, and convincing. Not too long sentences. Very long sentences are going to make you get away from your topic, and there will always be likelihood of chances of mistakes of grammar and punctuation and minor grammatical mistakes can cause you major harm. Then try to remain balanced, natural, and spontaneous, and never try to be judgmental. Never try to be judgmental. Never ever blame any person, party, establishment, government by name. Never ever encourage or discourage any ideology. Never ever encourage or discourage any religion. Never ever glorify any religion or caste or class. Never ever denigrate any caste, class, or religion. You always try to give the impression of a secular, natural, balanced, and spontaneous person who is going to occupy a responsible, dignified, prestigious, and majestic position of a bureaucrat or a judge who will do justice without discrimination on the basis of caste, class, religion, race, gender, or place of birth. This is the requirement of essay writing. This is what is required from you, a would-be bureaucrat or a judge. Always be in your mind that you are not writing an essay. A bureaucrat is writing an essay. A would-be bureaucrat, a would-be judge. What you yourself as an individual expect from a judge or from a bureaucrat is always expected from you too. Try to be truthful, have faith in yourself, have faith in your ideas. You should always give the impression of being a man of conviction, man of strength, man of optimism. But again, mind it that always avoid utopian optimism and abysmal pessimism. Matlab, you are not supposed to give the impression of the सोने की चिड़िया वाला viewpoint और बिल्कुल ही मर गए, लुट गए, कुछ नहीं बचा, बर्बाद हो गए. बिल्कुल नहीं. प्रॉब्लम्स हर सिस्टम में होती है, हर देश में होती है, हर पार्टी में होती है, हर लीडरशिप में होती है. प्रॉब्लम्स भी होती है, प्रॉस्पेक्ट्स भी होते हैं, challenges भी होती है, रेमेडीज भी होती है. You have to strike a balance between all these things. A balance between challenges and remedies, problems and prospects, strengths and weaknesses. You should always give the impression of a futuristic vision, prospective bureaucrat or a judge, and a progressive thinking human being. I hope with this you will be greatly benefited. In addition to the art of essay writing, I have also given a write-up on the importance of grammar, vocabulary and spellings in the essay writing or in any compulsory English language paper for civil and judicial services. And I have also given a small write-up about the importance of use of quotes in the essay writing. And when you will start with this book, you will find that I have tried to cover almost all the important topics: social, political, cultural, national issues. And I have also added in this particular edition the topics on the personality development, self-development, motivation and encouragement. Now, if you will go through those two books and regularly subscribe to a good newspaper and keep assimilating the ideas and accumulating the words, after 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you will notice that there is a great sea change in your own personality, in your perspective, in your thinking pattern, in your thought process, and in your ability to perceive and conceive the things, to understand the things, to reproduce the things. Almost all the topics, be it democracy, bureaucracy, corruption, judiciary, euthanasia, media, social media, women, national integration, education, unity in diversity, social change, secularism, value education, consumerism, terrorism, environment, human rights. All topics are covered in this book. I have profusely quoted from various sources, thinkers, philosophers, leaders, statesmen. Though the sayings and words of those philosophers, thinkers, statesmen are always very paying and very impressive and powerful to substantiate your viewpoint, to strengthen your viewpoint, to vindicate your viewpoint. Try to imbibe those things, assimilate those things, inculcate those things, so as to be able to reproduce those things when you are required of those things at the time of essay writing. Then I have also provided topics on topics of self motivation or encouragement of personality development, like time and tide wait for none, circumstances should not define you, attitude in life decide the altitude of life, leadership is not a position but a responsibility, literature is a reflection of society. Again, in order to help the students and to relieve the students of the burden of accumulating the vocabulary, I have provided almost 10,000 words, important words with the interchangeables, with their synonymous and antonymous. And I have also provided 500 important idioms and 250 words which are very confusing, tricky words which look alike, sound alike, which are normally called pair of words, or homonyms or homophones or homographs. Then basic rules governing the spellings and a list of important words which in which the words are commonly misspelled. And on the earnest demand, after my first edition of this book in 2019, I have provided a list of 500 evergreen quotable quotes for the essay writing, which will again be an incentive and added incentive for the students preparing for essay writing. I hope and wish you will be greatly benefited, and I will request you to watch it, share it, like it, and subscribe it, and leave your query at my channel A P Bhardwaj on YouTube. So I will be uploading this video very soon, and hope to listen from you, hope to hear from you with your honest, sincere, and healthy feedback. Thank you, friends. Have a nice day.